wins the tip. A trip to the Elite Eight on the line this afternoon in Texas.
See Michigan starting out in man-to-man defense. Louisville, 5 players all on the floor who can score.
Flau'Jae is one of them. Her growth, something Jeff Walls harped on yesterday with us, saying she doesn't hesitate at all anymore from the perimeter. Saw it right there.
You see Louisville starting out in man-to-man. McKinley Randolph starting out on Horrells Daniels so that she can help off onto the scores. Is a defense very similar to what Iowa played in their wins over Michigan this year.
Get it in. So Panic with the shot clock at 3. Trapped, has to make something happen, doesn't realize it, and that's going to be a shot clock violation as Louisville forces the turnover. Jeff Walls, Ken Barnes-Arico, 2 terrific coaches who have been historically great for their programs. Jeff Walls leading Louisville to a 13th Sweet 16. Kim Barnes-Arico has Michigan in their 3rd.
Michigan can be very pesty defensively when they can pick up in their full court pressure. I think that's one of the reasons Raina Scott got the start for Louisville. She gives them another ball handler against that defense.
And Anaya Hardy, who normally starts, does not play big minutes for them, as Siegler can't hit. Rebound hits the floor, kept alive. 2 to shoot, Roberts hoist, and an air ball. Shot clock violation. Meanwhile, it looked like Raina Scott a little banged up after keeping that rebound alive. She's still kind of flexing at her left hand. Just saw her holding it above her head. So we'll keep an eye on that. The senior who transferred from Oklahoma.
See Taj Roberts face guarding Silas Swords on the top of your screen. Just trying to keep the ball out of her hands. Such a dynamic scorer.
Swords trying to plop it up with the left hand. Couldn't finish. Got it back. Stripped by Scott. Here's Randolph quickly up with it. Siegler bounces in. Istanbuloglu draws 2. Randolph sees a seam, exploits, can't finish. Rebound controlled by Michigan. Swords and Olsen combining for the glass.
This is the pace right here that Michigan wants to play. They want to make it fast, get up and down, beat Louisville's post players down the floor.
Dramatic difference in pace. Michigan 38th in the nation. Louisville 161st. And when Michigan plays a slowed down game, that is often when they have lost this season. Get it into Olsen, her jumper rims off, and Randolph, who has been a rebounding menace in this tournament, comes up with that one, but a travel as Louisville gives it right back. To give you another little fun pace nugget.
I love pace nuggets, Ryan Rico.
Michigan is 0-4 this season when they played at a pace of fewer than 71 possessions per 40 minutes. As Olsen can't hit the jumper, Louisville's games have been at a pace of 71 possessions per 40 or less in all but one of their last 8 games. So they slow it down.
Every quarter I want another pace nugget.
I think that's all I got for you today.
Fun pace nugget.
There's a university in Westchester County called Pace. That's maybe where the knowledge ends. Siegler can't hang on. It'll stay here with Louisville. Both teams feeling their way early. We saw that yesterday too, Rebecca, where here in Fort Worth, both teams struggled to score early in the Sweet 16. And yeah, see the little bang there on Brooke Quarles-Daniels. Shot clock at 2 again. Roberts has to hoist again, and another air ball and a violation. We've already had essentially 3 shot clock violations to begin this game.
Terrific defense by Mila Holloway. That time again on Roberts, just making things very challenging.
Here's Olsen. Olsen, who had 27 in the second half against NC State in the second round. Holloway, a sophomore point guard, giving it up. And that is going to be a 3-second violation against Michigan as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Jeff Walz just turned and yelled to all the players who are sitting on his bench. Everybody's got to pay attention. On that last possession for Louisville, they are doubling and they are pressuring certain players. And he's like, E had a wide open shot. You've got to pay attention. Where's the pressure coming from? That player will be open. He's coaching up the next group that'll get in this game.
Maybe one of the ways in which these players are sped up early in a Sweet 16 as Roberts can't hit the three. Rebound poked out of bounds by Randolph. And it's going to be Michigan in the Sweet 16. Louisville out to a touchdown lead here on Michigan as we check in with Holly.
Kim Barnes-Arico in the timeout. Settle, settle, settle. She said, we have just got to take a deep breath right now. We miss a shot, and then everybody throws their hands up and says, oh my gosh, what's going on? She said, oh, hell no. We got to do what we've been doing all year long. Calm down, take a deep breath. And she said, anytime somebody's getting doubled or trapped, look for the open person and be a screener. You're doing it right now. You see that.
All right, Holly, good stuff. Thank you very much. As Berry can't hit. You saw those numbers for Michigan, 0 for 5 with 5 turnovers out of the gates. Berry gets fouled there. It's going to be on Olsen. And free throws here for Amari Berry.
But you see when Michigan has a chance to set their defense, it's given Louisville some difficulty. We've seen multiple times where Louisville's gone late into their shot clock. The Cardinal have just done a good job when they've actually pushed pace and gotten out in transition.
It was interesting talking to the Louisville players yesterday because one of the things they mentioned was all season long, Jeff Walz has told them, you can be a Final Four team. You can be a Sweet 16 team. You can be an Elite 8 team. And that's instilled a real belief in them. They said, look, we have a coach who's been there before. You know, Jeff Walz has been to 3 Final Fours. He's been to 8 Elite 8s, or 4 Final Fours, 8 Elite 8s, now 13 Sweet 16s. And we said, was he saying that to you guys last year? And they said, absolutely not.
That was my favorite part.
Made them really believe it this year. Becomes valid when he's honest in the years it's not true. His Swords can't finish, and it's knocked out of bounds. Stays here. Hey, coming up next, the Women's Sweet 16 continues on ABC with Kentucky taking on 1 seed Texas. Then over on ESPN, Oklahoma faces 1 seed South Carolina at 5, and a recap of a terrific game earlier this regular season. And then we cap the day, Cinderella, Virginia, and TCU at 7:30.
How about Madison Booker coming off a 40-piece in the second round against Oregon?
She has gotten aggressive offensively. It's been good for her and Texas's Swords. Finally gets Michigan on the board. Their first points of the game, and now a steal from Holloway, who's fouled by Roberts. And Taj Roberts picks up her first personal.
But Kim Barnes-Arico has to be pleased with the way Silas Swords is hunting her shots. That's a conversation she's had with her all season long. We've seen it the last couple of possessions, her attacking the basket, and you have to always close out on her. She's such an elite three-point shooter.
All right, Kim Barnes-Arico telling us she's genuinely happy if she takes no shots and we win. Sometimes I got to tell her, no, I need you to be aggressive. Here's Olsen. Olsen soaring in, drops it home, and Michigan has settled a little bit here.
Certainly a different level of comfort and aggressiveness since that last timeout from Kim Barnes-Arico.
Here's Siegler. Into the arms of Berry. 9th time these teams are meeting. Louisville holds the all-time advantage, 6-2. They've won 5 straight. Istanbuloglu, trapped, dishes, extra feed, corner 3 is good. Taj Roberts connecting from deep.
And this is what we have seen from Louisville when they played well this season. The double team came to Istanbuloglu. She made the nice pass out of it, and then what do you see after that? One more. Here's Olivia Olsen, the last possession for Michigan, getting down, just kind of bullying her way to the basket here. Double team comes. Gather, make the pass, and then the one more for the even better look.
11-4 Louisville lead. Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. Olsen with the left hand, no. Dudley got a hand on it, nothing more. Here comes Siegler. Roberts taking her time as she listened to instruction from Jeff Walz. Siegler spinning, dishing. Scott will drive it across her body and in.
Louisville with such nice spacing, and that gives Raina Scott the ability and space to get to the rim on the drive.
Little pull-up is good from Mila Holloway, averaging 16.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists in this tournament thus far. Berry with the answer on a long two.
But it feels like Michigan offensively has taken a collective deep breath the last couple of minutes.
Olsen spins it in, plus the foul. Olivia Olsen a chance for three as the Wolverines find their footing on the offensive end.
Michigan has had success when they have attacked the basket. That's a tough finish and fall on as the foul comes.
Siegler picks up her first. Olivia Olsen, second most points in Michigan history through 2 seasons. Only Caitlin Flaherty with more. A third-team All-American this season. Olsen will check out here.
Louisville going with a little bit of a small lineup right now. Hardy, their only big in, surrounded by 4 guards. Well, Randolph, a big as well, but this is another a lineup that has good spacing except for Hardy in terms of their ability to make threes.
Scott drives it. The pull-up rims off. Rebound Hardy. And a tie-up. Possession arrow belongs to Michigan. Michigan, the highest seed they've had in program history. Their second most wins. A win today would match that mark of 28, which they had back in the 16-17 season. After starting 0-6 from the floor, they're 4 for their last 5. Here's Dudley. Dudley on the attack, kicks it out. Quarles Daniels, the rare field goal attempt, can't finish. And Hardy gets fouled by Quarles Daniels, and that will be her first.
Quarles Daniels did the drive, but she turned away the opportunity for a quick little 15-footer, and that's why defenses will help off of her, and that's why we've seen Louisville sag off of her as well.
And that's what you were talking about, that Iowa did successfully against Michigan this year.
With their big player, that was what was unique about it.
Under a minute to go in the first quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. The first of 4 meetings in the Sweet 16 today on the ESPN family of networks. Here's Hardy, 8 to shoot, barrels in, and an offensive foul is called as Swords took the body.
Nice job by Swords because she was giving up a couple of inches here, so just held her ground, kept her hands straight in the air. Dee Kantner next to me nodding her head, bobbleheading, so that was the right call.
Dee, our terrific rules analyst. Olsen into the pull-up, going for the 2-for-1. It is rare you see college teams try and execute it. Michigan executed that well, just couldn't quite hit the shot. But a 7-second difference, game and shot clock. Roberts, doubled. Berry, what a look. Scott leaning, can hit. Another rebound from Hardy, misses the layup. Swords hugs the rebound, and Randolph reaching in, picks up the foul, and that is going to be the first on McKinley Randolph.
And the way Michigan hard hedges on perimeter ball screens, if you can make a pass out of that, you can get a good look. They've done a nice job recovering, though, and really forcing that pass to be difficult.
Randolph will check out. Not going to risk picking up a second here with 12.5 seconds to go in the first. Here is Holloway, 7 seconds, into Swords, 5 seconds. Back to Swords, knocked away. Swords collects, fires, off the mark. That'll do it for the first. Louisville, a 15-9 lead after